They want us to believe that everything around us is fine, while everything, of course, is changing quickly. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. Got a lot to cover in this video. We're going to be going across the board. Check this out. Record revenues, they're claiming, but plummeting profits. Fortune 500 is trying to tell us something about the economy. Of course. Is it really record revenues? If you take into consideration inflation, probably not. And actually, that also indicates why profits are down, because everything costs more. And I was thinking about that earlier today. It seemed to me like everything was double the price that it was 5 years ago. I mean, not literally everything, but quite a few things you buy in the store, particularly food items. I noticed it just seems to be double the price. You know what I mean? I don't even know if it was 5 years ago. It might have been less than 5 years ago. Might have been 3 or 4 years ago. It seems literally like everything's double the price. I don't know about you, but clearly I don't think these guys are making double the profits or double the revenues that they were making 5 years ago. It's just up maybe 10, 20%. But then for some reason their profits are down. Let's just pretend inflation doesn't exist, people. That's pretty much what they're saying, of course. It's telling us about the economy. Yeah, of course it's telling us about the economy. It's pretty obvious what's going on with the economy. We're going to be getting into a ton of stuff, as I said. We have all these other articles as well, trying to paint this picture like it's just slightly getting worse. Like this one here. Consumers are keeping the U.S. out of a recession. It's getting harder. No, we're in a recession. It's keeping us out of a economic depression, maybe. That might be the case. Of course, Target, last month, sluggish sales. I wonder why Target has sluggish sales. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, folks. Dollar General's stock plunged on June 1st. We're seeing bankruptcies are up this month over last month. Of course, they were saying, look, in April, look, the bankruptcies are slightly slowing down. It's getting better. We're in a bull market now. Oh my goodness. All in. Let's do the Jim Cramer here, folks. I mean, give me a break. You know this thing is just going to go down more. It's so obvious. And of course, we have a number of experts coming out saying that, actually. But yeah, we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff. I have so many windows open. This is only like the second window out of like 20 windows. But U.S. corporate bankruptcies tick up in May, as I just said. As you can see here, per the time frame of the year, we are at 286. Okay, obviously a little bit up from 2022. And of course, 2020, we know everything was literally closed. We're doing worse than 2020 when everything was closed. We had a better economy when no one was working. Okay? Literally, that is where we're at. So, of course, this is starting to look like maybe, of course, you look at 2010 is worse, right? 2010? That's because we're just starting. We're just starting. 2010 is like 2025. And it's probably going to be like 800 instead of 400 or something. You know, this is just my thoughts. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I have a, this is just kind of my opinion on what's going to happen. We're just barely getting into the beginnings of this. We're just now getting on the roller coaster and going up the hill, and we're like, oh no, it looks kind of high. Well, we're only a third way up the hill, folks. We're only a third of the way up the hill. We're not there yet. So just wait till you get to the top. Costly change. Home Depot adds automatic surcharge. Customers might not realize the added fees until after they made the purchase. Oh, you little clever devils. Why would you do that? Home Depot, is it because you're not making any money? I did buy some stuff at Lowe's the other day. Not Home Depot, though. The fact is, obviously, real estate's down. People are not fixing their house because they have no money to fix their house. I'm actually planning on having some of my house repainted soon here. So I'll be doing a little bit of stuff, but check this out. This is what we're looking at. This is probably one of the worst cities right now for this stuff, but major hotel chain abandons San Francisco, blaming city's clouded future. I mean, clouded? I think they're being nice. I think they're being kind when they say clouded. Basically, they're going to have a Detroit type of future, folks. Half the city, a shell of itself, half the business is gone, half the house is gone. I mean, just like no one living there. They're going to be like ghost areas. Like it's going to be like a ghost town in some sections of San Francisco. That's my guess over the next few years. Let's see what happens. It's like 2008 for Detroit. This is the 2008 Detroit moment for San Francisco. This is what I was saying in the last video. We'll see what happens. Let's see if I'm right. Of course, I mentioned this. We have other hotel chains doing the exact same thing. We have Hilton completely abandoning one of their properties. Just have it back, bank. We don't need it anymore. It's not worth anything to us. We don't want it. Right? South Los Angeles Costco. Now, this is actually smart, okay? We have some smart business people here, folks. They're trying to solve this problem. You have a city that's going downhill. You have an area going downhill. Los Angeles, whatever, Chicago. And these companies are like brainstorming. How can we keep making money? How can we stay in business? What are we going to do? This is clearly not good. Costco got their thinking cap on here, folks. They're actually going to be building 800 apartments on their building. I mean, wow. That's actually not a bad idea. Build a Costco and then build apartments on top of them. I mean, right now they're probably just trying to think of how can we maintain good profits in this climate. This is a good way. I mean, maybe. It looks kind of interesting to me. I think it might work. It makes sense. I mean, it provides jobs. You could have the people that are working the job. Some of them be working in the apartments there, or living in the apartments. Also, I mean, some of the people that live in those apartments are like, oh, just go to Costco downstairs, right? Makes sense. So I think that's like not a bad idea, actually. Of course, like I said, we're seeing a lot of things going on. We saw Kroger is divesting over almost 500 locations due to their Albertson deal. And we saw hundreds of these locations of various supermarkets closing, particularly in certain cities. It's not doing well in certain cities, right? Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, etc., etc. Might want to get yourself some food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. $5.97 for 3 months worth. There's other options available. Check the link in the description. Of course, this book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House Like They Did in the Good Old Days, before the internet, before you had to deal with all the stuff you see around us. I wonder if it's our phones, if it's our internet that's really causing all this. Makes you kind of wonder, don't it? Link is in the description for that as well. Get the printed version of this book. You're going to definitely want to buy it beforehand because if the electricity goes out, you're not going to be able to buy the book at that point. It's only like $30-some plus shipping. Link is in the description. All right. Also, of course, our fundraiser ended. Of course, unfortunately, we didn't have it set up the best. Okay, well, this is the first time we did this type of fundraiser. Okay, you know, we're not perfect here. We raised 40 over here, 40K. We raised more money. I don't know exactly how many thousands of dollars we raised already on our website as well. Multiple thousands of dollars over on our website as well. I'm not sure how high, but if we would have had all the options over here, it might have got up to 70 or 80. And also, the fact is, I was not having a lot of fun with my videos during the time of this fundraiser. I mean, wow. I couldn't get anything up. Now, all of a sudden, I can get everything up when the fundraiser's over. It's great. You know what I mean? At any rate, the good news is, though, we're still continuing it on our website outside of that Kickstarter thing there. You can actually still get involved. We're going to continue to do these fundraisers so we can build up the amount of money. And we've already saved tons of time. Because of that fundraiser, we raised almost $40,000 just there alone. Actually, probably more than that if you count what was on the website as well. It was over $40,000 if you count that too. And we were able to buy certain software that is going to save us a ton of work. Okay, kind of expensive, not $40,000 obviously, but kind of expensive in the thousands. Save us a ton of work. Pretty much, I mean, it's probably like essentially like hiring another worker in the amount of work we're going to save, right? Then on top of that, we can use the other money to potentially hire another one of these guys to work for us. And obviously that's what we're planning on doing with it. but we want to still keep raising more money so that we can hire more than one person, right? So if you want to get involved, like I said, it took us 2 years to get 50% done. We want to finish it this year. We're already on track to finish it faster. You can help out and also get a share of the profits, folks. You can get involved when this thing releases. I can't guarantee you anything, but I'm putting my money behind this myself. I paid this guy that's been working on it for 2 straight years. Okay. That's how much money I've put into it. Just think of like employing someone for 2 straight years, how much that will cost. That's how much money I put into it. So if I believe in it, that hopefully that would give you some confidence in it as well. The fact is, if we do a home run, we're talking like 200 million in 1 year. If it's like just sort of successful, it could be like 5 million in 1 year. You put 400 in, you could easily multiply your money many-fold. Link is in the description for that if you want to get involved. Let's get back to the video. So, of course, we have a number of other stories. We have this one, U.S. Chamber of Commerce calls for mediator in West Coast port labor negotiations. Why? The workers aren't getting paid enough. Why not? Inflation that, of course, our wonderful, beloved Prez says doesn't exist, pretty much. I mean, well, you did at least one time. I think he admits it exists, but you know what I mean. Pretends like it's a lot less than it is. So they're not getting paid enough to pay their bills, and they're having a lot of trouble getting negotiations. And the issue is we're starting to get to a point where there's actually congestion and issues with ports. So you have worker strikes and port issues at the exact same time. You're talking about not a good situation, right? So they're actually trying to get in the GOV to solve this quickly, or they could have a serious problem with the economy. This could be a huge issue. It's not as if we don't already have problems, right? So with the continued and potentially expanded service disruptions at these ports heading into the peak shipping season, we urge your administration to intervene immediately and appoint an independent mediator to help the two parties reach an agreement that prevents significant economic problems, okay, so for American families and the economy, right? And like I said, so it's all about how much they're getting paid. And I felt like this is going to happen. I wasn't thinking of this story, but I felt like this is what's going to happen, because I noticed the GOV is completely ignoring that inflation is really going up. I saw it in my taxes. I did my taxes, and like they're pretending like when you do the per diem, for meals and stuff, they like raised it like an inch or half an inch. Oh, it's a little more expensive. Dude, it's double what it was 5 years ago. Why don't you make it higher? You're pretending as if it doesn't exist. Inflation doesn't exist. Oh, it doesn't exist to these people. They just pretend it doesn't exist. Let's make up fake formulas. Oh, it's only 5% when it really is 17%. If you actually calculated it like they did back in the 1980s, you include everything in the calculation, not the select things that look lower, right? So actually calculate it correctly. They're just pretending it doesn't exist. They're ignoring the problem. Doesn't solve it. It's like ignoring a engine problem in your car. I just put some earmuffs on. Oh, I don't hear anything. It's like that, It's give me a break. Germany's regulator warns the energy problems are far from over. Germany, of course, doesn't produce much of anything for its own energy. Europe is pretty much independent quite a bit on other countries. Of course, the Ruslands were sending them a lot of energy through the pipelines, and those pipelines just magically disappeared for some reason. I wonder what happened there. So, of course, they're having more and more problems. This is what's causing the entirety of Europe to fall into a recession. That is where it's at right now. That's the next story, actually. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. No, this isn't it. I know it's the case. There's some article I saw about it. Europe is actually in a recession already, folks. And when they say recession, it means far more than that. You know what I mean? Europe's risky plan to avert the energy problems it's facing. So they're trying to make this new gas storage area so that they can solve the problems. that happened when that one pipeline, in the ocean just went like this. Who did it? Right? Ironically, it's probably the country that they're trying to put the new stuff into. Right? That was super smart. But of course, they had to pick a side. For some reason, you just can't be neutral. Why is it Europe couldn't be neutral? I wonder. So, of course, China crude stockpiles hit 2-year high as our U.S. reserve oil stockpiles dropped to 40-year low. Of course, they're up. And what is that for? What is that oil for, folks? For the potential of a WAR, which of course we're completely unprepared for because we're sending all our stuff and our resources to other countries and using up all of our oil, as you can see here. So we're like really in a good position, as you can see, being completely sarcastic. While they are actually in a good position, those countries don't have inflation problems really so much compared to us. It looks like someone doesn't know how to run what you would call a country here. Of course, considering all this, you might want to get yourself some gold and silver. Link is in the description. I highly recommend. Actually, the prices are down right now, folks. You're going to definitely want to get in there and get some silver while the prices are down. I'm telling you. Okay? Because this thing is going to go up a lot. You saw what's going on with oil there. You see where it's going. Okay? I think it's going to go up. Our dollar is based off these petro contracts, which are fizzling away right now, and that's what's maintaining or staving back. It's staving back the really higher inflation that could be coming. And once that does come to fruition, you're going to be seeing this gold and silver go up a lot in price. We have some experts saying it could easily go up to $80 for a silver American Eagle. Right now they're like 40. So link is in the description. Of course, my website, uploading videos over there, folks. You might want to go check it out. Link is in the description. I'm putting up a lot of videos in the membership area. $4.95 a month. First month is free. Link is in the description for that. Let's get back to the video. So, of course, we have some things going on in our culture at the same time. Chick-fil-A apparently joining the ranks of all these other companies that are, I guess they want to lose money. I guess that's the new thing. Hey, listen, how can we lose more money real quickly? Oh, we're for things like inclusion. Oh, that's a good idea. Particularly, let's do it on this 1 month. When they celebrate certain things. What do we call it? Pride? Yeah. So let's just say we're on board with it, even though you for so many years since your inception were told to be of faith, that you were for family, of course, values. Apparently something has changed at Chick-fil-A. And of course, it's not the only company. Some are wondering if that company is also going to end up losing a lot of money. What they did was like right there, they got lucky. I think they got lucky there a little bit. They might not lose much of anything off that. If they go one more step, oh boy, it's going to be like 20% loss of sales. Just like we saw with the beer company, just like we saw with Target, just like we're seeing now with a new thing that came out with Call of Duty. Call of Duty stepped in it quite big within the last few days, canceling a bundle, apparently a character bundle for Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx is a streamer, gamer, has like 4 million subs here on YouTube, 2 million. He's got like millions everywhere. Okay. He's got tons of subs everywhere. I think he has 8 million on his top platform, but of course, so we have Nick Merckx. He said something very, very normal. So recently there was a education, what was it? Okay, so you have the school board meeting in California somewhere, and a lot of parents were not happy with what was being taught to their younger, of course, ones. And they're saying, look, they're too young. They don't understand this stuff. Come on, what are you doing here? Right? Well, apparently, all Nick Merckx said here, just leave them alone. Leave the little, of course, ones alone. That's the real issue. And apparently this was too much for Call of Duty. Was it Activision or whatever that's over Call of Duty? Too much for them. They had to cancel them, folks. And because it was so ridiculous, and these are just normal gamers. These are not like people that are into politics or anything of that nature. These are just normal video game players. They're just like, what's going on here? What is this? Of course, a number of people backed him up that are also streamers, huge streamers. You got Tim the Tapman, Dr. Disrespect. This is Dr. Disrespect here. He said, look, I'm uninstalling the game. I'm not playing it anymore until you bring back or apologize. Bring back Nick Merckx or apologize to him. Then you got another one, Tim the Tapman, another huge streamer, said, cancel me too. He literally said, I don't need to make money from Call of Duty. You know what? Just get rid of my bundle too, man. I don't accept this. So you got all these streamers joining the ranks saying, look, this is the end of this. We're not putting up with this stuff. Someone has a normal opinion that 90+% of the population would agree with, and you're going to cancel them over that? Really? Wow. So everybody's joining him saying, look, this is ridiculous. I mean, what he said was quite normal. What are you doing? And these are not guys that are into any of this stuff. They're just normal gamers, right? So they're all backing up their friend. And this apparently is happening everywhere now. We're seeing it with stores. We're seeing it with video game companies. We're seeing it left and right now. Apparently, I don't know why these companies don't seem to learn from this. Apparently, they just want to lose money, I guess. I don't know that's the latest new means of running companies. Lose money. How can we lose money faster? Let's say something none of our customers like. That's a good idea. Let's just do that. Wow. So that's what's going on there. And of course, also we have used car prices are falling as sales soften amid high interest rates. Of course, if you go look at the news on car news, it's just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, they're always just, it's almost more like confusion. You might as well not read it. I mean, it's just really, I feel like they don't want you to really know what's going on with the cars. That's the feeling I get. Do you want us to actually know what's going on with car sales? Probably not, because you just keep contradicting yourselves left and right and saying the opposite. You'll see one article saying it's up, one article's down. You go look at the car lots. There's like cars down to the horizon line. They're not selling them. Okay, they're not selling them, but they pretend, oh, sales are good. Sales are good, really? Wow. Why is there cars in your lot like just literally busting out of the lot? You know what I mean? I don't think car sales are going well. It probably has a lot to do with the interest rates. That's probably a big part of it, of course, and having to pay $1,000 extra a month on top of all your other bills, right? Beginning of the end is the car market crash we've been waiting for. This is from Top Speed here. Whether new or used, the prices of cars have gone up exponentially in the last few years. And of course, on top of it, you got interest rates. How are they trying to tell you that they're having good sales? What are you talking about? People on the inside are telling us that's not happening. You go read the news, it's like, it's up, it's down, it's okay. And it's like they're all contradicting each other. It's ridiculous. You have to actually talk to people that sell cars to even know what's going on. Of course, we had, before the chip shortage issue, but now it's like the loans and everything else, right? So that's what's going on with that. And of course, also we have PayPal and Venmo. They're talking, we've seen what's been happening with these banks, right? They're saying, look, these guys are not FDIC insured, right? Money stored in payment apps such as Venmo may be more vulnerable than bank deposit. Of course it is. But actually what's interesting is we saw the IRS recently do a move via the Supreme Court, which actually looks very similar to things I saw PayPal do, where like, let's say someone owes PayPal. Let's say there's a seller on PayPal and he sold a ton of items and it blows up and doesn't go well, right? So what he does is he owes he sold 10,000 worth of items. He only got 5,000 in his PayPal account. It's negative 5,000, right? It's negative 5,000. So what they'll do is they'll go find, where you got your money from. So that guy that's negative 5,000 be like, well, who did he buy from recently? Where's some money around him? Where did he exchange money with other people? They'll actually go find other PayPal accounts that have done nothing wrong. And like, oh, he's got money. Let's just refund this negative 5,000 or refund a product that this negative 5,000 guy bought back to him, so that it's negative 4,000 now. And then that guy that did nothing wrong ends up losing $1,000, right? I've seen them do it. I've seen them do that. And now, of course, the IRS has set up something to where they can look into third-party bank accounts. Again, same idea. Like, okay, this guy here owes negative 5,000 to taxes to the IRS, right? Oh, who did he do? What did he do business with? Oh, this company over here. Oh, that company's got money. This guy got no money. The company's got money. Let's just do a refund from that company back to that guy. And, oh, whoops, you lost your money, company. But this guy, at least he paid us his taxes now, right? So that you might be seeing something like that. I've seen PayPal do that stuff. And, of course, yeah, PayPal, I wouldn't recommend selling anything over $1,000 on, or over $400 on PayPal, unless you like losing money. Because people can file disputes very easily over there. But, I did like about 100,000 transactions on PayPal. The fact is, yeah, they're not FDIC insured. And they do things that are actually what I would call not legal. And it's very obvious. In 40 plus states, it's not legal, but they do it everywhere. And they just assume no one will do anything about it because you're just one little guy. Are you going to sue them? So they're just assuming nobody will do class action lawsuits against them. So anyway, I wouldn't recommend PayPal anymore. They're even worse than they used to be, and they were bad before. So, of course, PayPal has an 80% stock plunge, but it hasn't soured Wall Street. Well, it might sour PayPal. They're not FDIC insured. You're holding money in PayPal. PayPal's broke potentially. Gee, oh, look, see these people that were holding all their money? I'm broke. I'm PayPal. I'm broke. These people are all putting their money in our PayPal accounts. Let's just take some of that somehow. Not saying they'll do that, but that's just something that might run across someone's mind. And then they'll think, how can we legally do that? Oh, let's make a rule where if they violate something, we can just take $1,000 from them. That's a good way. Then we could pay. Then we wouldn't be broke anymore because we took everybody's money, right? The thief is holding the money bags. You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just saying maybe it could happen, right? I'm not accusing them. I'm just maybe at any rate. So that's kind of my video. I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.